Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about lighting. In specific, I'm going to be teaching you about a technique called the sandwich technique, which is a technique every photographer and videographer should have in their bag because it comes in handy so often. In fact, it'll take this very newbie lighting that you're seeing right now and turn it into this lighting, which is so much better for YouTube. It looks way better, and you know what the best part is? It's super easy to set up. In fact, you might be kicking yourself in the butt wondering, why didn't I use this kind of lighting setup right from the start? Because you're not subscribed to my channel, that's why. So definitely subscribe. Roll the intro. All right, so let's get started with this tutorial. I've left my lighting pretty basic, pretty bad. I mean, this is just the camera running. I'm pretending I'm a new YouTuber. I just got a camera, I'm filming myself. I got one light bouncing off the wall for a little bit of fill, but for the most part, it's pretty bad lighting. And a lot of you YouTubers who are just starting out, you have lighting like this and you're like, what do I do? How do I make this better? And more often than not, I see a lot of people turning to this solution. This is the Neewer 18-inch ring light, daylight balanced LED light. It's awesome, fantastic. It'll be linked down below. It's a great starting point. But what happens with the ring light is you get lighting that looks like this. All right, and this is what a ring light looks like. It's a big ring of light that goes around the lens, and it illuminates me nice and evenly. It gives a nice clean image. It's all right, but from a creative perspective, it's kind of boring, right? Because it's this even lighting on my face. There's no depth, there's no character, everything's just washed out. Maybe for makeup tutorials, this is a good thing, but in general, it's kind of boring. Plus, if you look into my eyes, you'll see the ring, right? And the ring is kind of distracting because it doesn't look like a human eye. It looks like a cyborg eye. It looks a little bit different. So this is maybe a good solution to start with, but probably not the solution you're gonna end with. So now I've just pointed out why the ring light isn't necessarily the best light to use, and you're thinking to yourself, you know what? I just invested all this money into a ring light. I don't have a huge budget. How do I make this lighting look better? Simple solution. Buy another ring light. No, seriously, buy another ring light. This is amazing. If you have two lights, it's so much better than one light, and you need two lights to do a sandwich technique. And this setup is actually really good. So let me explain to you how the sandwich technique works so you understand what I'm talking about here. All right, now I'm gonna draw you a quick diagram so you understand what the sandwich technique is all about. And I promise you when I'm done drawing this, you'll understand why it's called the sandwich technique, and no, you can't eat it. All right, so you have the photographer down here, you have the model over here, and this is a double light setup. One light is gonna be over here to the side of the model, and the other light is gonna be on the opposite side of the model, pointing at the model's back. Now the lights are set up at a 45-degree angle to the camera, and this is what makes this lighting setup so interesting because you have one light illuminating the face and one light creating an edge light around the back of the model on the dark side. So it creates a lot of depth in the image, and that's what makes it so pleasing, and that's why this lighting setup works in almost every scenario. For example, if you're shooting a wedding, you can position the subject matter so the sun is acting as the second light, and you can set up your flash to the opposite side of the model, so you have your flash illuminating one side of the face and the sun creating a hair light on the other side. Or if you're shooting portraits in the studio, you'll set up a window as the backlight and your flash or a strobe as the key light. And just keep the lights facing each other and you create a sandwich anywhere you go, and you can create amazing photos like that. All right, so now that we know the theory and what a sandwich technique is, let's set it up with these two ring lights, okay? So one light we're gonna pop over here, and this will be our key light, and it's just over here in front of the camera, pointing at me from this side. Now this light has to be on the opposite side. But you know what, I'll set it up so you can actually see the lights in the frame. So there's one light here, and the other light is going to be back here pointing at my back. So this is kind of it, you see? The light comes here, illuminates my face, looks good, and then this, on the dark side of my face, you have the light from behind me creating an edge around me. So there you go. This is a sandwich technique. Now obviously you don't want the lights in frame, so we're just gonna move them out of frame. And bingo, there you go. Sandwich technique at work. Nice edge light, nice soft light, bingo. Now you guys know how to do the sandwich. We need a sandwich dance, a little bite, a little sandwich dance. So one of the nice things about this technique is it's scalable. So right now I'm pretty close to the camera. If I move the lighting a little further away from the camera and I step further back, the lighting still works, right? So no matter how close or far I am, the principle still works, and you can apply this sandwich technique to almost anything that you're shooting, and that's the beauty of it. So a little something you can do to spice up your sandwich is to add a little bit of light. Okay, so one of the things I recommended earlier is getting 2 ring lights. And the reason for that is that they're both the same size, they put out the same amount of light, they have the same power, the same color temperature. So it's very easy to work with. As you can see, everything looks uniform on my face. Now, if you want to spice things up a little bit, you can get an LED panel. This is a Neewer 660 light right here. And you can use this as the secondary light in the sandwich in the back, and it'll just add a splash of color to whatever you're doing. So let me pop that on right now. Okay, so here we are with the LED panel set up behind me. We got a blue light on this side of the sandwich and a white light on this side of the sandwich. So if you want to create something with a little more color, that's always an option. And the cool thing with these Neewer lights is you have an app, so you can change the color on the fly. It's all Bluetooth. So if you want red light, pink light, green light, blue light, whatever your theme is, whatever your color scheme is for your business or your YouTube channel or whatever, you have the option to do that with the light. Now, if you already have 2 ring lights and you want to pick up one of these lights, let me show you something else. Okay, so now we got the regular ring light set up with the 2 ring lights, and we have this LED panel. And what you can do with the LED panel is you can turn that around and point that at the background. I'm just gonna put it out of frame here. Now what you do is you have your nice soft ring light coming from one side, you got the edge light, and you got another light for the background. Now this is a 3 light setup. It's not really a sandwich technique anymore, but it's something you could do if you have those lights, if you have 3 lights at your disposal, because it's always nice to illuminate the background a little bit. Or you could even put it on the other side, so you have one edge light on one side that's white, one edge light that's a little bit blue on the other side, and the ring light spilling nice soft light onto your face. And that's the nice thing about the ring light, is it's a big surface area, so when the light does come off of it, it creates a nice soft light on your face, and that's what you want. If you use something like this, for example, let's turn off that ring light, and we're just gonna have the LED panel lighting me up. Now the LED panel doesn't have any kind of diffuser on it, and it's a really harsh light. This doesn't look so bad on men, or if you want to create some kind of like gritty, edgy, kind of masculine look. But if you're doing something soft and feminine, the harsh, edgy light doesn't really play well into that. So that's just something to think about too. But you can, if you have 2 LED panels, you can set them up in a sandwich technique. But ideally what you want is a nice big soft light. But yeah, lighting is fun. Don't be afraid to experiment and try new things and fool around with lights and just see what you get. You know, that's the beauty of lighting, is this, there's no wrong way to do it. Just experiment. Remember, what you want to do is you want the lighting to show off the best features of your subject matter. You also want your lighting to create character and depth. So those are just some things to think about when you're setting up your lights. So hopefully this tutorial helps you and you never have to work with that awful lighting again, like we showed you at the beginning of this tutorial. All right, so there's one more thing I want to touch on here. And so this is our ring light. This is our main light. This creates a nice soft light on our face because it's a nice big diffused area. If you want to do this with a different type of light, you sure can. You just need like a soft box or an octabox to do so. For example, so here we have a Godox SL60-W, and this is what I pretty much use as my light. Let's see, I'll set it up. Light's coming from this side, so I'll set this up on this side. And this is what I use for my main soft light when I'm doing a lot of YouTube videos. And as you can see on the front of it, see if I can step back here so you can see the whole thing. This is a giant diffuser. This is like a soft box on the front of the light. And what it does is it gives you nice, soft, diffused lighting. So this kind of acts like a little mini window light. So if you're trying to create that kind of effect, you probably want a bigger light with a bigger surface and something more like this. All right, so now we have the Godox set up. It's right over here with the big diffused light. Now the big diffuser is supposed to create nice soft window light. And if you're looking at my face, you can kind of see it. It's soft. I think it's softer than the ring light, but not by much. Not by much. So if you already have a ring light and you get a second ring light to do a sandwich technique, I think you're good to go. I think you can make some really beautiful looking YouTube videos with just 2 ring lights. All right, and that's the end of this tutorial. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. You may all consider yourselves sandwich masters. Sandwich masters. Yes, my sandwich masters. If you like this kind of stuff, give it a thumbs up, leave comments down below. You know what to do to help this video, you know, climb up the algorithm charts. Yeah, so we learned about the sandwich technique, plus a few other little things about lighting, little tidbits here and there. I've been a photographer since 2005. Lighting is one of my fortes. I'll be doing a lot more tutorials on lighting techniques. I'll be doing tutorials on photography, how to set up your camera, Premiere Pro, Photoshop, all that kind of stuff. So if you're into learning about these kinds of things, subscribe to the channel, would really appreciate it. Really trying to help this channel grow. What else is there to say? If you want to follow me on social media, Instagram, Twitter, and that's it. Peace out. I will see you guys in the next video.